Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Army, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be visiting more Prince, but specifically we'll be investigating some of his more niche lore. The idea for this reaction came from Saiyan League, so I want to give Saiyan all the credit here and actually provide some of Saiyan's context for this reaction. I think it'll be very helpful so that we're all on the same page. But Saiyan writes, I call this reaction Prince and Tekken. Some of the deepest Prince fans don't know about this fact, but the creator of Tekken 1, Shichi Ishii, was a huge Prince fan and dedicated a song in Tekken 1's OST called Chicago, which is a MIDI version of Prince's song Loose. He adds another fun fact, the creators of Mortal Kombat are also huge Prince fans. There's really cool compilations on YouTube of Mortal Kombat leaving Prince Easter eggs in their game. I love crossover episodes, however they come, across different types of media, video games, and music. To be honest, that bridges the few loves that I have in my life. If you guys didn't know, I used to be a massive gamer. Though Tekken wasn't my game of choice, I think I kind of was in a different generation for that. I definitely got my hands on some Mortal Kombat, which, I preach peace, love, and positivity. That game is anything but peaceful, but it is so fun. I don't know. And the fact that there are Prince Easter eggs in and around it, I will definitely be checking out what kind of Easter eggs are out there. The image that I've shared on the screen, I think, is from either the Tekken game or one of the earlier Mortal Kombats. It was unclear based on the source which one it was, but I think that's really cool. And, I feel like we should be appreciative of Prince's music in all of the possible ways, and putting some of his music in video games is just one of the many ways we can show our gratitude. So very excited to hear Loose for the first time and hear how it gets re-envisioned in the Tekken world. But before we jump into it, a massive thank you to Saiyan League for, once again, the reaction request and for bringing some more Prince to the channel. Now, my friends, let's jump into it.
Ready, whoop it up, yeah.
Yeah, when you open with the pterodactyl scream, the screaming 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a very creative mix, very chaotic and aggressive. I feel like it would be the perfect song for like an underground industrial club vibe. I don't know. If you've ever seen like, I'll just say the first Matrix movie, there's a scene where Neo is in some kind of like underground techno club. This is before he ever, understands truly what the Matrix is. I could totally imagine Loose being a soundtrack in that club. It feels appropriate for video game music, now that I think about it. This is subtle catch here, but listen to the way that Prince's vocals sound here, and then try to hear I believe it's either a doubling of his vocal layer or an additional vocalist adding some harmony, but it's very, very airy up there. I think the layering may be more of an artifact of the reverberation and some of that electronic voice, But listen again.
Get your education first and buy a pair of shoes. Push your way up to the front and shake your motherfucking dude.
A bit robot-y. I would describe this as like controlled chaos.
Guitar solo.
Commanding guitar tone.
I hear you gonna tell me what to do. I got the clothes, I got the bank and the crew. If you look real close, I even got your cotton too. Push your way up to the front and shake your motherfucking dude. Come on, everybody, Tommy and Sonny.
For some context, I am listening to this song at 9 a.m. and I couldn't be happier. It's so industrial.
Turn around.
Oh, I love it.
Guitar solo.
The dance feel is so heavy-handed. It actually works so well.
Turn around again. Turn around again. On the one.
Cool.
Very cool. I really, really like that. I feel like, yeah, I mean, just listening to it, I think it is so appropriate to be converted into 8-bit video game music, MIDI music, something to that effect. It is just, it lends itself so perfectly to that style. So I guess it is a natural follow through. I really wonder, like, if I hadn't known that this was being converted into a Tekken 1 song, would I have had those same thoughts? Because, you know, I have the benefit of knowing what I'm going to be listening to ahead of time, but I feel like in the counterfactual reality where I didn't know that this Tekken song existed, I would think I would still would arrive at a similar thought process because I have heard so much video game music in my life. The techno industrial bit, the dance bit, that definitely is a major part of the vibe of this song. But that specific, I don't know if it's like a niche of a niche, a subgenre, however you want to label it, doesn't matter. But that specific sound, it lends itself so perfectly to that digital vibe, video game vibe. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I can already see the full vision, but I love the guitar work in this, love how glitchy all of the instrumentation sounds. It's even in Prince's vocals. Nothing of this was recorded like straight up. Everything was either sent through a huge like guitar stack or post-produced to create these really sort of like sharp sounds that, you know, have their edges, but it also feels rather structured. Like I said, controlled chaos. Even the guitar work, it didn't completely while out like we're familiar with. I definitely am imagining that like sweaty underground rave where people are colliding into one another, and especially when the guitar kicks up, you're just going to have people sort of moshing, but also they're on Molly. So the dance floor itself has this like has a heartbeat of its own, and the energy just drives through you prompting people to lose control. I wonder, if there are live performances of the song Loose, how it ends up getting performed, because it is a rather short song. This was a 3-minute, 26-second listen. I feel like you could just loop this endlessly and get a lot of mileage out of a song like this. So I'm very curious now to hear how the Tekken world take it. Let's see what they do. Okay, so the 1, 2, 3, 4 wasn't screamed. So we retained the beat. Yeah, retained those pitches. Like already there's more of a built-in frogginess to all of the notes being played rather than the sharp rusted metallic edge that we heard in Prince's rendition. Imagine being at the menu screen hearing this. Oh, I like that. As I'm hearing this too, part of my brain is thinking if we slow down the tempo of this song by like 50%, let's say, we could have something that's flexible enough to be a Madonna song. Or at the very least, I could imagine her singing over the top of this dance beat. But the fact that it's at this tempo naturally lends itself more to Prince. Though of course Prince has the slower songs, but because we heard Loose back to back here, I'm so in that wave. I'm just thinking which one applies more to video games. I think Prince's music has more similarity than Madonna's. Oh, and then a fade out. Okay. Yeah, that song definitely carries the energy of Loose through, but roughly speaking, like puts a noise gate on it, filters a bit of the harshness of the original song, and converts it into something more palatable for maybe the younger Prince video gaming audience, or just the younger Tekken video gaming audience, because I feel like the crossover of Prince and Tekken may not have existed as much until maybe an OST like this got put out. Because what I can imagine, and I'm just using my own anecdotal experience here, but what I can imagine is there were a great many Prince fans who their entry point to Prince was through Tekken. Because if you have a song that you like in a medium that you really enjoy, video games as the example, when music gets attached to the video game, well, you think more about how you feel about the game rather than the music. But the thing is, like, I've always been very musical minded, so some of my favorite finds or hidden gems have been through the video games that I've played. And I watch content on the game. Like RuneScape was a big game for me, and there was a niche that existed on YouTube way back when with RuneScape music videos. And so because I was so into the RuneScape content, I discovered so many amazing songs that way, and the association was made. But the pivot point, the place that I started discovering it through, was from that game. I can even think of the amount of time I spent watching like SmackDown and Raw and all that WWE stuff. A lot of the superstars have really great theme songs. Not as much these days, I will say, but they had a lot of recognizable theme songs in the early 2000s to, mid 2010s, I'll say. And I discovered a lot of great music that way as well. And I can imagine being in the shoes of a Tekken player, hearing this melody and being like, wow, there's a lot going on there. It's really fun. I wonder, where this came from. And depending on how the credits are laid out and whether or not that link to Prince is clear, I would start my Prince journey from that place and hear the original loose. So I'm just like kind of opining here, but really, if it is you, if you're that one person who discovered Prince through Tekken, please let me know. I'd be very curious to know about your journey, because I think, and this is just now an abstraction away from Prince for a second, but musical discovery, this whole process, like I am putting it on full display on this YouTube channel, but there are so many ways to discover music. It's not just through a reaction channel. It's not just through the Spotify algorithm. It's not just through word of mouth. It's not just through the video games either. It is this whole ecosystem that is our society, that is our world, where you can discover these great pieces and, lean further into it if it really, really speaks to you. So many of the bands that formed my musical identity early on were discovered in these incidental ways, and my network grew and grew and grew. So to me, the overall like idea of this reaction to me like signifies that there are so many touch points where we can discover music. And because covers exist, because people love to, create derivative ideas off of prior work, there will always be some kind of there will always be a way to bring back previous artists as well. So just because, Prince is gone not producing music doesn't mean we're still not going to get more Prince related content, because, other creators want to envision these songs in a different way. Now it's up to us whether we prefer the re-envisioned versions or the covers or not. But for me, I think like the gesture alone speaks volumes as to Prince's impact on not just the musical world, but all of the other worlds that are out there. And it just so happens that this particular MIDI cover goes crazy. Like truly, if I was playing Tekken, that would be amping my energy up. I would be busting out all the combos and beating my beating all of my 10-year-old friends. Why do I have so many 10-year-old friends? Just kidding. It's my girlfriend's younger brother. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the reaction today. If you did and would like to request one yourself, whether it's more Prince deep cuts, or really anything you'd like me to check out, you can do so by using the first link in the description box below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.